Two girls tied up a man and pushed him into a deep pit, carefully adjusting his posture. No matter how much the man cried for help, the girls remained unmoved. One of them even worked hard to fill the pit with soil. Soon, only the man's head was left exposed. If no one came to his rescue in time, he would likely suffocate to death. The girls threw down their shovels and stared at the man with interest. They then untied his bonds and told him that if he wanted to be saved, it was actually quite simple. He just needed to call his family and confess what he had done to the girl. The incident was triggered by a heavy rainstorm the day before. The two girls were stuck outside, and the man kindly invited them in and helped them call a cab. However, the girls acted overly enthusiastic and made themselves completely at home. When the car arrived, they deliberately hid in the bathroom and wouldn't come out. Left with no choice, the man had to enter the bathroom to find them. Although he covered his eyes, the girls still caught him in the act and accused him of impropriety. They tied him up and interrogated him, claiming to punish him for his infidelity to his family. The man felt very aggrieved and argued that he had only done a good deed, but his words made one of the girls even angrier, and she decided to bury him alive and started digging a pit in the yard. Seeing that he was about to meet his end, the man could only struggle desperately. He used his feet to retrieve a tablet and tried to make a voice call for help. However, the girls happened to be taking a break and discovered his actions. They confiscated the tablet and threw it far out the door, their faces full of mocking smiles. The next day, the girls buried him in the soil, leaving only his head exposed. They took out a phone and asked him to confess everything to his wife. He pretended to repent, but suddenly shouted loudly for his wife to call the police. This action greatly disappointed the girl. They tied his mouth again and raised a sand sculpture, threatening him to admit his mistake. However, although the man was scared out of his wits, he still refused to submit. The girls excitedly raised the sand sculpture, looking at the man's stunned expression, and couldn't help but laugh out loud. They felt they had played enough and turned around to go victimize their next target. Just as the man was about to relax, the two returned. The girls took out the video they had shot the day before, posted it online using the man's account, and then fixed the phone in front of his eyes. The two girls picked up the man's dog and left nonchalantly. The man could only watch helplessly as the video's popularity kept climbing, with more and more comments and likes. He struggled to pull out a hand to try to close the video, but accidentally knocked over the phone and silently gave it a like.